Space Policy Ideathon is a national policy innovation platform being organized by SIA-India in partnership with SGAC. As a part of Space India Congress 2026, it is first of its kind initiative conceived to build long-term national capacity at the intersection of Earth observation, satellite communication, climate intelligence, geospatial technologies, public policy, and sustainable development. As India scales its investments in space infrastructure, digital public infrastructure, climate resilience, and geospatial governance, the need for implementation-oriented policy innovation has never been greater. The Ideathon seeks to create a structured platform where students, researchers, young professionals, and emerging innovators can engage with real-world policy and develop challenges using space-enabled technologies and data sets. And I will also announce what are the themes for Geo-Niti this year. The first one being air pollution, climate change, and public health. Second one is agriculture, climate risk, and rural livelihood. Third one is coastal resilience and blue economy. Fourth being space-enabled urban and transport infrastructure. And now I would like to invite all our esteemed jury panelists over here. For Dr. Professor P.G. Diwakar, he will be joining us on a web call and will be connected through that. And then we would like to welcome Dr. Sudheer Kumar, former Director, ISRO, and VP XDLINX. Please have a round of applause for sir. So we welcome you. And then we have Dr. Upasana Dasgupta, Assistant Professor at Jindal Global University. Ma'am, please can we have you over here? We welcome you. Ms. Nikitha C., co-founder of Genex Space, we welcome you too. And I believe now I will hand it over to Pranjal, and he can take it forward. Okay, all right, so I will take it ahead. Just give me. Okay, so the first team who's going to come here to present, I will also announce few important notes to be pointed out for all the team members. You get 4 minutes for the presentation. Post that, you'll have a buzzer, and you'll have a jury feedback for about 3 minutes, and then we would ask you to leave and the second team comes on. The first one for the team is Team Astrophagus, and I would also like you all to basically announce the team name, who are the team members, and what are the track name you have selected, and also the project name once you start over here. So can we have the team Astrophagus? Astrophages, okay. Astrophages, I'm so sorry. Please, can we have the entire team?
afternoon, everybody. We are Team Astrophages, and I'm Abhishek. This is Asmi, and this is Proshmit. So,
These systems are powered by satellite systems, and of course the various other regulatory challenges, right? We have to piggyback on a unified license holder. Now, quickly, I want the panelists to introduce themselves and we can kick off the session from there. Manik?
our proposal is Coastal
Thank you,
Ecosystem
Alexandra. The
Resilience
panel was
Framework,
trying to
that
figure
is
out how to pronounce
CERF.
your name properly. So I think we got that
Okay.
part at
So,
least
in the
right.
last few years, we have
I'm
seen
Manik,
that
as Alexandra
climate
mentioned. I'm from
technology has
Telesat. We are a global
drastically
satellite
advanced,
operator.
and
And
India, which
I
is
had
one
all
of the
global
most
new product
powerful
initiatives for
economies
Telesat.
and
Uh, the most
population of
important new product
250
initiative
million
is
people on the
launching our
planet,
own global constellation
we are
called
extremely,
Lightspeed,
very
which is for
aware
broadband
of this
services. I know
environmental
everyone is
crisis.
taken with
Now,
Starlink and the new trillionaire of the world that we have, but Telesat
to
is a very
address
different
this
service from platform Starlink. We are not a consumer play, we are not a direct to consumer play. We are
Earth
focused
observation
primarily
data,
on
we have
enterprise, mobility, and government services, and it's
coastal
purely a
data,
partner play
shoreline
unlike
mapping,
the other
a
roles. So
ton of
we'll discuss
data
more on mobility.
translation
Thank
to
you for having me
images
here.
and proactive action. The action that is taken
Good
is
afternoon,
in
everyone.
most
It's
cases
a pleasure
reactive
to
and
be here.
non-proactive.
Thanks to
In that,
Sudheer
we
Prakash.
need many agencies to
My name is
work
Kumar
together
Sundaram,
proactively
and
to
I work
address
with
the
Organised Ship
issues
Management.
raised by
We are
CERF
the largest ship manager in the world.
so the
We
entire
manage ships on
coastline is
behalf
divided
of
into coastal
third-party
management units or
owners.
CMUs.
And
These CMUs are observed using Earth observation data, and this Earth observation data, the certain parameters are used to find a coastal priority score for each coastal management unit. This priority score, uh, once it crosses a certain threshold, when certain parameters cross certain thresholds, then the National Coastal Zone Management Authority is legally bound to take action under this framework. Before this threshold is reached, the authorities may accept or reject the recommendations. But once the threshold is crossed, then the National Coastal Zone Management Authority is legally bound to take action under this framework. Then the finances are allocated and restoration takes place in a proactive manner, such that uh, the restoration happens immediately. And so what we have seen is that the uh, legislation exists and the finances exist, but the action is not being taken proactively, and that is why we have introduced this CRF framework.
So what we are basically doing through Earth observation is, now I'll explain to you how CRF basically works. So we are taking Earth observation data from satellites in space. Then we are dividing the coast into coastal management units. This has been done taking into account factors such as hazards from natural calamities, exposure in terms of how exposed the coast is, and how vulnerable the coast is to calamities. And we have found that there are 8 typologies which come up in every area, which are namely urban coastal system, tourism and recreational coast, fisheries and livelihood coast, ports and industrial coast, coral reef and island systems, mangrove dominated coasts, deltaic and estuarine systems, and conservation and protected coasts. So based on these different typologies, different amount of weightage is given to hazards, the exposure and the vulnerability of that particular typology, and that these parameters are then converted into a CERF priority score, which is basically converting EO data for policymakers to understand in terms of a score, so that they can basically understand what is happening. And this priority score is given a risk classification based on how high it is. Either if it is very low and safe, we can give it green, yellow for moderate, and red for high risk. And then this causes governance triggers in the way I'll explain now. So the way we'll do this is we use EO and GIS for mapping the coast and understanding which area needs priority access to, restoration and going through governance triggers. And then CERF will score those ecological and socio-economic vulnerability factors how vulnerable economically that coast is, how much of the coastal community is dependent on the livelihood of the coast, and then local governments will adopt tailored resilience, which will be given from the National Coastal Zone Management Authority, and periodic monitoring and adaptive management cycles will be taken into account, where EO data will be used to verify whether you have made these changes or not. And we understand there's lots of funding already exists, but there's no proper route for these funds to reach, because it cannot be verified what change is happening and whether it is being restored. So we authorize MOEFC, the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, as the main authoritative agency and in space for private collaboration, and it provides lots of job opportunities wherein local people can be trained on what EO and GIS analysis can help with, and it also gives skill-based local employment established in coastal districts, and then the framework enables large-scale operation and employment of lots of people. And we make use of the CAMPA fund, the Green Climate Fund, global environmental facilities. And while our framework is new, it is based on existing laws such as Environment Protection Act 1986, Disaster Management Act of 2005, and the CRZ 2019 notification under the EPA. So no new legislation is required, and it is implemented through existing laws.
So now let's assess how important CERF is by looking at a case study. So Guano is a rural province in Philippines, and it is subjected to a lot of storms and cyclonic activity because Philippines is near the ring of fire on Earth. And because of this, there is a people survival fund in Philippines where you have to give highly engineered research studies to the fund authorities, and then they allocate you the funds. But since Guano is a rural province, they do not have such expertise to give the reports back. But if we were to implement CERF, then using EO data, CERF would give a validated document which Guano province could then give to the authorities and could get the funds allocated. So by using CERF, we can help Guano, a rural province, think about how India's coast can benefit, which is more than 11,000 kilometers. Next. Now this is the proposed phase implement pathway. So in phase 1, we take a high-risk coastal area, and then we look at the measurable outcomes that we have. Then we integrate it into the states. After integrating it into the states for 2 to 3 years, then we make it a national scaling framework, where it becomes a central repository for EO data sets, vulnerability maps, which can be accessed by anyone. And then we also collaborate with public-private corporations like InSpace because in India there is a policy that you can't cross certain levels or meters down and look at the surface because of various reasons. But if you use public-private entities and you reach out to them and it's benefiting your country or the vulnerability assessments, then we can collaborate with InSpace because of that. Yes, thank you.
So I would like to just end it on this note that the future of India's coastline will not be determined by the storms we face, but by the decisions we make before they arrive, and this is where CERF helps us. Thank you.
Good. Diwakar sir, you would like to make any question or any comment?
Yeah, thanks for the presentation. Most of the points are pretty well covered, but basically when we are talking about coastal regions, the stress on blue economy becomes important. So how this policy is going to impact the blue economy is one point I think that should be addressed properly. That was quite visibly missed out. In the sense, we should be looking at the mangroves, the seagrass and the salt marsh area, where the biomass and carbon is very important, and that is very precious for the blue carbon ecosystem. So if the policy is able to address the blue carbon ecosystem and its protection, that will be very, very appropriate. This is one point which possibly I would like to mention at this point of time. Otherwise, all the policies that have already been put in place, we all know CRZ, the disaster and other policies are already in place. The point is the implementation of these policies. So if strategies for implementation of these policies also can be addressed as part of this entire activity of CERF, it would be interesting. These are my points. Yeah, thank you.
Sir. Next, adding to that one, I am more interested in the mangroves, because the mangrove forests which are basically owned by the government. See, you are telling that the public, somebody owns it, you will punish it. But what is the regulation mechanism, or what is the controlling mechanism? What is the some kind of promotion mechanism for some assets which are owned by government itself?
So, to add to that, we will propose that through EO, the CERF monitors this threshold of mangrove cover using NDVI and different spectrum analysis.
No, that's okay. EO, you are control, you are monitoring. Let's say, did you have any data, let's say 20 years or 30 years back, how many mangroves were there, especially in the eastern coast region, and how many vanished? What happened to that one? Why environment has not taken place? What are the impediments? Probably I think these kind of things will give more. And second is soil erosion. Because of these cyclones, soil erosion, the coastal regions, lots of soil erosion is there. See, I was in Shar, when our own Shar cast was crossed, the government has come and they have given lots of sessions. What kind of sessions? You have to, because cement blocks have to be put, the way you are seen in the Bombay High, you know. So such kind of things where erosion prone areas are there, what kind of proactive measures that you are doing, who is responsible for that? No private agency is responsible, it's only government. If government is monitoring government's action, if government is not doing that, then what is the penalties? Okay, so such kind of national bodies you can recommend for NGOs, the way your the animal kind of people are there, no? Such kind of bodies you can recommend. They should be given more voice to heard in some conferences. They should be representing the public interest, let us say, issues, such kind of things. That could be a right approach in my view. Okay, good, all the best.
So I think this was very interesting, and it had some very good points, but I just am trying to talk about a thing about our constitution, just being a lawyer here. So the constitution has something about union list, which is something that the central government can make, the state list and the concurrent list. So are you thinking about a particular body who is going to be responsible for this? Maybe you want to say whether it's under which list it falls, and accordingly maybe you can decide which body, because that's the thing that I'm also wondering, that who actually implements, who finally decides that whether this is going to, if the threshold is above the threshold, then what really happens? Who is in charge of implementation? And if they don't implement, then what happens? So it can be an independent body, or it can be a state government. So you maybe want to look into that list that can really help.
Okay, we can go to next. Okay, ma, all the best. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All the best for the finals. Now we'll have the second team, Albedo Space. Can we have the entire team out here? I would repeat the points. You get 4 minutes of presentation. You need to introduce your team members, the project name, the track you have chosen, and then we'll have the feedback. Thank you. Check.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm Ashutosh Gantagaria from Albedo Space, and my team members Om Shakti Swarup and Omkar Anshuman Panda, and we will be presenting our paper Sakar, which yeah. Uh, uh, Under the theme air pollution, climate change, and public health. I want to start with a number 1.27 million. That's the population of Anugal district in Odisha, home to Nalco aluminum smelter, MCL coal mines, and 4 thermal power plants, all within 4 kilometers, uh, all within 40 kilometers of each other. Right now, not one person in that district can tell you what is causing the haze over their homes or whether it's getting worse. Now here is the part that should bother you. The satellite that could answer that questions has been collecting the data since 2018. It's Topomi on Sentinel 5P, and India has free access to it through Vedas. The data exists. Nothing connects it to a regulatory decision. That's the gap Sakar fills. Satellite-aided airshed assessment and knowledge for air regulation. It isn't a new satellite, sensor, or app. It is a policy framework that wires 3 datasets. India already owns its own NCAP 2.0. Now my teammate Omkar will continue.
Currently, there is a monitoring gap out. We have NCAP, which regulates 131 cities under it. NCAP is National Clean Air Program, and under it 131 cities come, and out of which only 50 cities have it implemented. 81 of those cities don't even know what's polluting them. Maybe it's coal, maybe it's subtle warning, but no one knows that. And the other thing is 90% under detection gap. Like in the Haryana and Punjab region, 90% of subtle burning happens after evening, but the Topomi satellite passes through 10:30 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. So this they completely misses the point, and the data we collect and the data we calculate on is completely wrong. So it goes very wrong. And the other part is the health gap. Around 1,24,000 people dies every year because of SO2 mitigation. Before last year, July, we used to have a policy regarding that, but India last year, July, rolled it back, and now we have nothing that's protecting it. So right now, we have all the required data, but nothing is connecting them. Now, Ashutosh will again continue.
What Sakar does it closes it through 3 mechanisms, all running on satellite data India already has at 0 additional cost. First, SVSAM, that is satellite verified source apportionment. Ground-based source apportionment costs rupees 2 to 5 crores per city and takes 2 to 4 years. Or at that pace, the remaining 81 cities won't finish it until 2035. SVSAM uses Topomi N2 and S2 columns processed on Google Earth Engine to produce the same attribution for rupees 15 to 30 lakh, a 90% cost cut, and it can start now. Second, AFHIP, the all hours fire intelligence protocol. The fix is almost embarrassingly simple. India's own INSAT 3D and 3DR satellites sit in geostationary orbit watching Punjab continuously, including the evening hours when Modi's and VIIRs are blind. If HIP adds that feed to the existing fire count, no new satellite, just a CAQM operational order under powers CAQM already holds. Third, Third, Camry, the coal airshed mortality risk index, it takes Topomi SO2 readings over coal districts, runs them through a peer-reviewed concentration response function and produces a monthly mortality risk score published the same way CPCB already publishes AQI.
So all three mechanisms that Ashutosh discussed, all three mechanisms are displayed in DAP-HAS dashboard, that is District Air Pollution and Health Alert System, which is directly integrated onto National Central Pollution Control Board, and it has on Prana portal. And the moment the satellite anomaly is detected, the DPA-HAS dashboard instantly routes automated targeted health alerts directly to the district medical officers. So finally, it's all about delivering public accountability by translating these complex data to interpreted monthly regional language reports like Odia for Anukul. For the first time, local communities will know what actually they are breathing, not just AQI data.
So now I will say how it's possible. Like on paper, we have like 2.5 crores to 3.6 crores for like the development, which covers like only 2 cities in the current approach. But if this approach is considered, it will cover all 131 cities in the fraction of what's needed for 131 cities already. And as per law, we already have everything we need. So nothing new we have to implement, no new satellites, nothing. Just we need to bring in what's already there under a single integration layer. For Bhuvan and Bhuvan, Masdak and Tropomi, Vedas, these three under a single integration layer can save up to a lot of cost that can be like wasted in the current system. We'll like to conclude it now. Thank you.
Diwakar sir.
Yeah, thank you for the presentation, and basically it's a good attempt to talk about pollution and other things, but I feel there are a few gaps that need to be addressed. Not all things can be really addressed from space. You have taken some good satellite names that can provide data, but any data that you take from space also need to be calibrated from ground. Unless you do proper calibration, you cannot, as it is, take the satellite data and then start talking about pollution and what do you call particulate matter. In fact, you didn't mention about particulate matter, which is very, very important. For example, most of the cities are affected by PM 2.5 and PM 10. You talked about NOx and SOx, or NO2 and SO2, which is of course very, very important as part of the emission is concerned. While of course you're talking about various satellites that can be used, we should know that VIIRS as well as MODIS are very poor resolution data, and INSAT 3DR and 3D is also a good satellite for 24/7 operation, but the resolution of the data what you get also need to be seen. For example, you could have mentioned about aerosol optical depth that comes from our INSAT, which is a very important information that can be used for, let us say, a particulate matter determination, or calibrating the particulate matter using PM 2.5, PM 10 with aerosol optical depth kind of data. So there are a few gaps, but your idea is good. But also you should address what is the present existing legal system so that the cities can be depolluted. Most of the cities in India are polluted due to various anthropogenic activities. What is the legal aspect that need to be looked into so that technology can be used, both space and ground, to regulate them? I think that should be the focus. Then your entire idea can be put into proper place. Thank you for that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Nice, nice. See, that's the same thing. See, when you are telling yes, rocks and rocks, especially if you take Delhi, is a construction activity which is creating more nuisance. And the fire of the agricultural fields fire, that is creating more nuisance. Okay, the problems are different. If you take steel cities, the iron ore finds, the coal ore finds, they are creating more nuisance. Okay, is not alone the SOx and NOx emissions. Then when you talk about the health cluster, are you aware there is a health cluster in India? Out of the government has created some clusters. There is one city has been identified for health cluster. It's a Bangalore. I am incidentally a member in the health cluster. See, it is not alone the satellites will serve all the purposes. IoT you have to take. That's what he says. What is the ground truth, ground reality? Okay, and everything, because the policy matters today. The health, if you say public health is more important. Let us say cockroach breeding. Let us say mosquito breeding. Waste, let us say dry waste and wet waste management, whether they are taking or not. Drinking water pollution. When something like that, when something is broken, how actually the drinking water is getting polluted because of the peripherals. How a soil moisture is happening because of sanitary, let us say, leakages. So many things are there because how the policy, because the session is policy. You have talked about more as if you are creating an app you have talked about. Okay, but what the policy framework will guide, whether how EO data will enable identifying these troublemakers or troubles, how actually the troubles will be controlled, monitored and imposed to correct it. So that could be a right choice. Please work on such kind of things also for the next level. Okay, you have to do concentrate on the policy front, which is totally missing in your presentation. Anyhow, all the best. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So I think just one small point just to add to the comments that, the idea is, it's very good, but it also needs some more policy should be addressed. Like, one of the things that I was wondering is that how is this going to be implemented is not something, for example, we are not very sure here, and specifically because there will be different cities, different places if we are covering, then the laws there will be, the local laws will also be different. So how are you going to implement that, specifically if the local laws, the cities laws are different, the region's law can be different. So how are you going to implement that is a question that I was thinking. So that's the...
Ma'am, actually, we mentioned it. We mentioned it there. We will be using the district collector and district medical office for that. For the reason, we took the case of Angul, from where we are from. It's like a coal mining city, and near it also steel mining is also there. So we will consult them, and they will be like the middle person between the infrastructure and people. They will implement it using the local laws.
I had a small question. Have you all studied if there are any other cities which had the same problem and which was solved? Did you look into it as a case study while you were studying? No. So you should look into a place called Pittsburgh in US, which was a city of mining. And in a proper daytime, it used to be like night. And today, if you go, it has become cleanest. And it is all done by the community, the people around there, the foundations out there, and along with the government, right? So study how did they do it. I think it will help you to frame some of the rules and framework for your things. Look into examples. It's the same thing goes to the previous team as well. I think you should look at what others have already done, which will form a base or a foundation for what you're doing.
Thank you.
See, adding to that, see, she has put it right point, encouragement schemes. See, pollution, especially public health, it is not government's responsibility, it is everybody's responsibility. Let us say rainwater harvesting, what you propose to give some kind of benefits to the household. Let us say make sure you put the sensor, let us say if some waste is not lifted, in a community, you alert the municipality. This could be a policy matter. See, giving, let's say, we will give those who are 10 times, let's say in a month, he has given a call to the local municipal body. We will give 10% reduction in your property tax. It is a policy. Because pooling the people who are creating the mess and who are suffering out of mess, be part of solution making. Give an encouragement. This is a policy matter. See, if a water stagnation is there, nobody bothers. 2 days, if the water stagnation is there, mosquitoes start breeding. At least is it not responsible to the resident to call somebody and tells? If such a kind of calls comes, let us have some encouragement. So please look into geospatial, any information intelligence should improve our daily life.
Thank you, sir. That was very helpful, actually.
Okay?
Yes,
we should
sir.
improve our life, We are the stakeholders. Please bring out such kind of, because you are youngsters, you are looking into the idea of this Ideathon is, you are the people who are looking into the every problem in the society. Why society? Why you blame only government? Why a public participation? Jan Bhagidari. Government has given, no. How you will become Bhagidari?
Yes, sir.
Bring out such kind of policies, because this is very important for you people to think how you make your own system, who is living it, be responsible, not only for creating it, for correcting it also. Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank
I
you,
just
sir.
want to add this that it may not be enough to just look in, contact with the district collector, because if you really try to work at the grassroots, you may actually have to look at the city level or the panchayat level. You have to do that if you really want to try to look into the grassroots. So you may want to look into if there is any law there that is helping you or even disadvantaging you.
Thank you.
Okay, all the best.
Thank you.
Prepare well for the next round.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. It was very helpful, actually.
Thank you so much, guys. All the best. Now I would like to have the team 3, Dhara Netra, to come over here and introduce your team members, your team and theme. And I would also request to keep it concise to 4 minutes, please. We are already running behind the schedules. And please, can we have the team members over here?
Honorable jury, good afternoon everyone. My name is Raj Lakshmi and my team member Sai Jyoti. One of my friend didn't come because of some issues. So,
You come here.
thank you, sir. She will join. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. She will join in phone call.
No issue, please.
Okay, sir. Thank you. I am belongs to Andhra Pradesh. I see the problems around me and I took that problem and my team and me, we take that problem and we made a policy on that problem. We see in Prakasham district, there is a problem that is the groundwater depletion. Andhra Pradesh faces recurring droughts every single year. There are 55 mandals out of 56 facing this drought problem. And the tragedy is satellites above us are already capturing this data, but that data never reaches the people who need to act. And we made policy that is the Dhara Netra, that is the solution. An Earth observation enabled climate risk intelligent framework that converts satellite data into real-time drought alerts and policy-ready decisions, so that no farmer in Prakasham waits weeks for relief that comes too late. On the Name Dharanetra. Dhara means water flow and the Netra means eye. Dharanetra is literally the eye that watches water. Watching drought before it destroys lives. On why Prakasham. Oh, Prakasham is not just a case study for us. It is a representative district that happens here reflects the drought crisis across all dryland regions of India. Solving Prakasham means solving for millions. On the technology we use, Sentinel-2 and Landsat satellites NDVI to track crop stress, NDWI to monitor water bodies, and rainfall data through MOS DAC, all integrated into one decision support framework accessible through India's own Bhuvan Geo portal. Next, my friend will continue.
So coming to slide number 4, this slide shows the Earth observation backbone of Dharanetra. We combine satellite imagery, vegetation indices such as NDVI and VCI, water indicators like NDWI, along with rainfall and soil moisture data to detect crop stress and drought risk at an early stages. APSAC already generates many of these indicators. Our goal is to integrate them into a unified decision support system that produces timely drought alerts, policy actions, and advisories. Coming to the next slide. The key challenge is not the lack of data, but the gap between data and action. Today, valuable Earth observation information often remains fragmented across various departments, making it difficult to translate insights into timely local decisions. So, Dharanetra transforms drought management from reactive relief to proactive resilience by converting Earth observation insights into early warnings, mandal level alerts, and action protocols. In simple terms, monitor, predict, trigger, and act. That is the policy shift we propose. Thank you. Now, my friend Jyoti will take you through the policy framework and expected impacts of Dharanetra.
Good afternoon, everyone. This slide presents the 4 pillars of the Dharanetra framework. First, climate smart agriculture provides dot advisors, resilience crop planning and efficient irrigation practice, and second one, water resource governance, support monitoring of tanks, reservoirs, and groundwater of better water allocation. Third one is EO-based decision support user indicates such as NDVI, NDWI, and VCI to generate dot alert and risk assessment. Finally, interdepartmental coordination ensure that agriculture, water resources, disaster management, and revenue department work together for fast and more effective responses. Together, these 4 pillars transform Earth observation insights into coordinated climate action. And next, the expected outcome of the Dharanetra is moving from observation to action. By enabling either dot detection and mandal level alerts, the framework helps farmers preparing advance and reduce climate-related losses. It also supports smarter water management, stronger policy coordination, and faster evidence-based decision making. Ultimately, Dharanetra aims to build more resilient agriculture, improve water security, and stronger rural livelihoods. Districts in Anantapur, Kurnool in Andhra Pradesh, Marathwada in Maharashtra, Bundelkhand across Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh, and several regions of Rajasthan regularly face rainfall deficits and ground stress and agriculture vulnerability. And finally, I conclude that our EO-driven climate resistance framework demonstrates how satellites data, GIS and AI can support smarter governance, sustainable agriculture, and efficient water management. Thank you.
Okay, fast. Diwakar sir, you have any points?
Yeah. Thank you for that. Yes, I have quite a few points. First of all, this entire thing, what was presented, is already being done in India, both at national level and state level. This is the first point I would like to bring in, because I was part of this entire enabling system which was developed by ISRO. We have Mahalnabis National Crop Forecast Center, which does continuous country watch for drought monitoring. They have one of the important activity of MNCFC, which is popularly called, is also to do the drought monitoring at the country level and extract information at state level and provide the same to the state level also. So state also gets this particular data on NDVI, NDWI, soil moisture, all these particular parameters are extracted. And the beauty here is we use Indian remote sensing satellite data. ResourceSat AWIPS data is being used, which covers the entire country every 5 days. So a more effective information system that exists, and also to address the drought, there are many mechanisms that need to be built. You completely forgot about the meteorology, which is very, very important. There are many different types of droughts, not only vegetation related drought, it is also important to see the weather parameters. Meteorological drought is also very popular in the country. So if you have to talk about water management, you have to see the rainfall. And when you see the rainfall, you have to also see the drainage system, the terrain based databases. All this data available in Andhra Pradesh, because we have set up state remote sensing center there. They have all the necessary data that is required for drought management. Even though the problem proposed is good, the way you have articulated your activities is good. I would say most of these things are already implemented. I think you have to concentrate more on policy and implementation rather than reinventing the wheel, I would say.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good, sir. See, what I just summarize, because last another 15 minutes only time is there, we don't have much time. You integrate, there is a groundwater system, as you was telling, surface water storage and rainwater. When you integrate it, the Prakasam district, you have chosen very drought prone and drought oriented things. In that one, let's say smart agriculture, such kind of things when you do, ultimately how you available water, how do you control it? When you integrate all these things, you have a very limited reservoirs, very limited, there are no rivers, river basins. The groundwater is not there. Rainfall is fine, everything is rain dependent. How you make a model out of this crisis? It is different from Godavari district. It is different from Krishna Delta. It is different from other Kaveri Delta. How you make a policy out of it exclusively for that region is the subject what he is talking, and I also wish. Yes. Please extend little bit to the policy side.
Okay, sir, definitely.
Okay? Okay, ma. All the best. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Can I call last team, please? We have another 10 minutes to wrap up.
Sorry guys, we have another set of 15 minutes, so I would request you all to be very concise. Here you go.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Vinay Kumar Reddy, and I'm here along with my teammate Rudrani. We are Team Andhra. So currently, we have chosen the track 2, which focuses on agriculture, climate impact, and livelihood of the rural area. So here, what exactly we are doing, and what is the gap which we have identified. So if we talk about Earth observation data in India, we have the world-class data which is capable. Using that data, we are capable of forecasting any kind of climatic impacts which could happen, and due to those climatic impacts, what is its impact on agriculture. So currently we have the systems from the Earth observation data. We have Bhuvan, Mosdak, Vedas, and specifically on the crop forecast systems, we have Fasal, Krishi DSS, which are actually the products of Mahalnobi National Crop Forecast Center. And when we talk about the data or the crop which is being entering into the market, so we can get the data from ENAM or APMC portals. But here the main question which is missing is, what is the economic impact if due to such climatic events, what if the crop reduces? What is the market impact? How in the next 60 days, what is the the price which are going to arise on the specific crop? How we are going to stabilize those markets? So that is the major point, major gap which we are missing here. Individually, these we are having all the systems, but combinedly we do not. So what is CAMIP? CAMIP is basically Climate Informed Agriculture Market Intelligence Platform. So here what we are doing, this is of two phases. First is a platform and the next is a protocol phase. So here first what happens is we integrate different layers of data. The first data would be Earth observation data, which we take from Bhuvan, Mosdak and Vedas, where we take the data of the climatic impacts which has happened in the various regions. And then we take the agriculture intelligence data, which MNCFC is already producing, which predicts the production of the certain crop and the yield, historic yield and various other data of the agriculture. So, and then market. So we already have the data of the market. So whichever, it is like dynamic data. So present how much stock has been entered, and tomorrow how much stock is going to enter. So if we take the historic data and we combine that data with the previous Earth observation and also agriculture intelligence, then we will be able to form a model which would give us a prediction how exactly it is going to happen. So from this, what CAMIP is essentially going to do, here we are going to integrate all these three data sets, and due to that, what exactly is the output? So earlier, if you are capable of answering what NDVI is declined, here we say due to that decline, this much amount of reduction is possible, and this is the expected price which is going to increase in the next 60 days. So the decision flow of the CAMIP is that here we take the first Earth observation data which indicates the climatic risk. Due to that climatic risk, what is the impact on the crop? And from that crop, what is the supply risk which we forecast based on the previous market data and also the previous Earth observation data, and we forecast that what is going to be the actual economic market impact and how much amount of impact it would be on the normal consumer. So considering all these factors, what exactly we get? We get a risk index. Based on that risk index, we propose different protocols. What exactly the system is supposed to do if this is the index which you get. So that is the technology side of it. Now let's talk about the policy side of it. Here we propose CMSP, which is Climatic Market Stabilization Protocol. So let's say the event has occurred. Then what exactly you are going to do? So earlier, if you see the current approach, climatic impact has been occurred and the crop has been damaged, and then there is sudden increase in the requirement, and then the market has been shook, and then the government is taking the intervention plans. Maybe like leaving the whatever the buffer stock is there, or else importing the stock from outside. So that is happening. But what exactly we could change it? So let's say the climatic impact has been happened. So we have tracked that to the Earth observation data along with the agriculture intelligence which we are getting. So that our CAMIP would do the risk classification. Based on that risk classification, there would be a decision-making body, which is the combination of all the intelligence where we are getting from, whether it could be agriculture or the Earth observation, or it could be the market yards. That decision-making body would trigger the policy. What needs to be done if it is in the different levels, and then that would be the government action. So this is the CMSP decision matrix which we have provided. So if there is certain levels of supply deficit, then what we are supposed to do at that action. Even if it is green, then we are supposed to monitor. If it is red, then we are supposed to do different actions. So this is how we are proposing. And next, if we take what is the case study which we have taken. So we all very well know in 2019 there was an onion crisis where the prices suddenly rose from to a new level of almost around 200 rupees per kg. So in that case, what exactly has happened? So at that time, in August there was a heavy rainfall. Due to that, in September and October there was sudden rise in the prices. So after that there was government intervention. So if the CAMIP and CMSB has been implemented, then in the August itself the pattern would have been identified by the CAMIP, and then the decision making body would have done taken the decisions which are supposed to be taken in order to prevent all of the sudden rises in the shock of the prices. Thus, it would stabilize the market.
I'm really sorry to intervene. You just have 2 minutes.
Yeah, I'm done.
Please wrap up in 2 minutes.
So yeah, and the question might arise, this is a intelligence platform, so doesn't it make mistakes? Yes, there is a high possibility, but this, it works on machine learning, so it takes all the previous data, and based on that it would also give the confidence level. So if we are telling that this is the impact which would happen, it will also give this is the percentage of confidence level. Based on that, as there is a physical body, a decision making body is also available, so it would take the decision in order to what are the precautions supposed to be taken. So from this, we can take the level from the, the action plan from reactive to precautionary measures. Yeah, that is our entire idea.
Good. Very heavy. Sir, Diwakar, sir.
Yeah, thank you for the presentation. I would say the problem chosen is interesting, very important in the current times. And also, to a large extent, the way you have taken the track of solution is also in line. But there are a lot of issues that you need to address. Of course, you did talk about policy trigger. Policy trigger has to be strengthened. It is not so strong enough, because you are talking about in case of problem, you have to have a series of options for policies. But in case of excess food production, also you need to have a policy. You are just leaving it blank. That is not okay. Now the problems are here. For example, you are talking about EVO data for climatic inputs. Both Bhuvan and Vedas, because I am the architect of Bhuvan, I know what it is. Bhuvan and Vedas basically do not have directly the data for climate related parameters. Yes. You need to be using that data to derive climatic parameters. Yes. So that means one need to do a lot of data processing before you can really talk about climate impacts or expected climate impacts. Okay. I can fully understand that the problem of produce and the market is a big problem today. Yes, sir. And it has been a problem all the time in the country. But with the kind of UO data that is available today, in fact, for your kind information, for most of the food grains that we produce, major food grains, 11 crops in the country, we are able to produce the data to the Ministry of Agriculture 1 month before the harvest, what is going to be the total production of 11 different type of crops. So government is already on the job. They are already knowing how much amount of produce is there. But the question is, how do you see the market? Yes. So making the food grains available in the market is a key issue. Now, assume that there are climatic impacts. It could be drought, it could be heavy rainfalls and all those things which you mentioned. Yes, sir. Can bring down the food grains, or it can hinder the transportation of the food grains to the target area. Yes, sir. These are the places where you need to possibly bring in technology and also bring in policies so that you will be able to address the gaps. Yes, sir. Of course, I can give you a lot more points today, but I think we are running out of time. Yes, I would appreciate that the problem taken is good, but you need to possibly blend the data and the legalities much more stronger to make a better impact. Thank you.
Yes, sir, sure. Good. To add just a few points, one thing is you concentrate on the crop. E-marketplaces, you please try to incorporate, because that will avoid the brokerage and other things. Then insurance and taxation. See, taxation is more important because many people are avoiding the, let us say, taxes, showing that agricultural income as if there is no agriculture at all in that area, in that field. See how actually the agricultural tax benefits should be tagged to geo-intelligence or geo kind of information. Then insurance. Insurance automatically, how, let us say, if an insurer, it is a layman, how he will actually, without going to the banks and without banks sending to the ground truth reality using the EO data, how it will be done. So such kind of policies, if it is, see, if you want to take a bank loan, an auditor will be there. Auditor has to give a certificate. Yes. Like that, when an insurance claim is there, ultimately it should be associated with a geospatial information to what extent this has done. Such kind of policies if you bring, this is ease of doing business. Yes, sir. So everything policy you please align to the government policy. Okay? Yes, that will give some more insights. Okay, sure.
I just want to add this, that you just may want to look at the geospatial policy and the other documents that is there regarding this. That might strengthen your point. All the best.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Check. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, respected jury. And we all wish you all the best, all the team. And we request you all to probably wait for your results on 17th. And thank you so much, jury members. And I would request you could probably take forward for the next session. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Okay.
Hello teams. So basically on 17th, you all will come and present your papers again, present your projects again, so that with the suggestions of the jury. Thereafter, the decision will be given on who the winner is. So this is not the final showdown. The final showdown is on 17th.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. Ladies and gentlemen, since we're already running behind the schedule, I would request you all to please be seated so that we can start our next and the final session for the day. We are about to start our next session in a couple of minutes. So I would request everyone to be seated.